Let me be the change I want to see. To do with strength and wisdom all that needs to be done, and become the hope that I can be. Set me free from my fears and hesitation. Grant me courage and humility. Fill me with spirit to face the challenge. Start the change I long to Jesus in our hearts
Good afternoon, students and Lasallian partners. I'm Kaye Oyek. I'm a visual artist and art writer. I also work with the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, National Committee for Visual Arts, and I'll be your host for today. Welcome to our third Artist Talk webinar brought to you by the Cultural Affairs Office. Creative Courage Artist Talks is a webinar that caters to Lasallian creative thinkers, talented, full of imagination and ideas. In our webinar, you'll meet distinguished Filipino artists we can all draw inspiration from, learn a lesson or two from about visual, performing, and literary arts, and how the arts enrich our lives. Can you imagine a world without the arts, without any music, dance, theater, or literature? I certainly can't. So I really appreciate this time and your presence, as well as the presence of our guests, as we talk about the different forms of art, how it is created, and how it uplifts the spirit, especially during these times. So, everyone, in case you have anything to let us know, just type your comments in the comment section and let me acknowledge it. Engage with us, and we want to know that you're there, learning along and enjoying with the rest of us. Okay, so can I tell you a secret? I've been a self-confessed chorale geek since grade school, and my experiences in performing with the group in vocal unity at various stages and ages has made my life richer all these years. In chorale practice, voices are treated like musical instruments, blended together to create a human symphony of sounds. Chorale music brings out our hearts and souls as we sing together. Unfortunately, it's one of the first activities, together with other live performances, that were given a pause when the coronavirus pandemic started. But singers everywhere are finding ways to keep the music alive virtually. More and more innovative ways are now being developed to help choirs sing together again. And we have to know, is this the new normal for choirs? You can leave your message for us in the comment section. What do you think? What are the challenges and the outlook for our school and community chorales? And will we ever see them perform live again in that grand, heart pounding, and ear soothing, exciting way? Our topic this afternoon is about chorale music, community, and practices in the midst of COVID 19 and beyond. I would like to introduce our first guest, Miss Vanielyn Comandante, who finished Bachelor of Music in Music Education with emphasis on voice performance at the University of Santo Tomas Conservatory of Music with Latin honors. She's the institutional music coordinator of DLSZ and also the club moderator of DLSZ GS Vocal Ensemble, High School Chorale, Bravens Chorale, and Spanish Club. She used to perform with UST Liturgican Vocal Ensemble, UST Marian Evangelization Community, UST Rondalia, Thamasian Chamber Choir, and CLSU singers. She led the Emilio Aguinaldo College Chorale from 2014 to 2020 and won in various local competitions. Champion at First Week Kawit, Tagisan ng mga Korong Caviteño, and First Regina Coeli Chorale competition to name a few. She was also recognized as Best Conductor at City of Malolos, Timpalak Awit Makabayan 2017, First Regina Coeli Chorale Competition, and Second Northern Luzon Chorale Festival. At present, she actively joins various virtual choir projects and regularly contributes to Virtual Choir 6 Philippines, Williamsburg Baptist Church in Virginia, Brigham Young University Concert Choir in Hawaii, and United Church of Christ in the Philippines. Everyone, please send your virtual applause for Miss Vanny. Let's all sit back and relax to see her video presentation.
Good day, Lasallians. I am Miss Vanny, the Institutional Music Coordinator and Moderator of the DLSZ Chorale. Today, let me give you a glimpse of what's inside the DLSZ Chorale. When COVID-19 reached our country, all students were sent home, and suddenly all rehearsals were paused, all concerts were cancelled, and all theaters were empty. The next question is, can we still make music together even we are apart? Then came Eric Whitaker with his invitation to record Sing Gently as One. It is a sixth virtual choir, and it gave an opportunity for more than 20,000 choristers all over the world to sing together at the midst of pandemic. Sing Gently gave hope and inspiration, and from there, a lot of virtual choirs were made, support school, community, and church activities. Rehearsals were transferred into Zoom. Choristers started rehearsing again safely in their homes. Conductors started exploring audio mixing and video editing. And from that day on, a lot of virtual choir projects would be made. When I joined DLSZ last year, I met amazing choristers who are very eager to learn music, who are dying to share their music to the community. And thus, we jumped into the creation of different virtual choir projects. With the help of technology, we're able to shift from on-site performances to being visible virtually. So we're able to participate in different activities of the school. There are also some invitations that we're able to accommodate. Aside from studying their music, a lot of members were involved also in the creation of the video. We have our committees that would deal with storyboard, just like with this one. Choreographed performances are very common in the chorale before, so we try experimenting on that also for our virtual choir projects, just like this one. Also, with regards to editing, a member edited the whole video, and I was just involved in audio mixing. Also, this video reached more audiences as we share it to the fourth World Virtual Choir. With the school's approval, the group also decided to create social media accounts. We have one in Facebook and another in Instagram. So that will be our avenue to share our music to more Lasallians, to connect with the alumni and share our music to our families. With CMLI's invitation last year, we're able to participate in a competition, in a virtual competition. So we sent a quartet who responsibly studied their scores, and luckily we landed a place. Last year, we just capped the membership to existing members only. But with a lot of members graduated, we decided to open it to new recruits. And luckily, the family got bigger. And also, aside from having the grade school vocal ensemble and the high school choral doing the projects together, we are having the Brave and Choral also this year. And we have a lot of projects in line. And yeah, we're excited to share these videos with you and the succeeding activities of this group.
Hi, Miss Vanny. Thanks for joining us this afternoon and letting us see your presentation, telling us about the DLSC Chorale. It just shows how flexible performers are, especially in the musical field, in reaching out to the audiences we sorely miss. And they sang the perfect song. We are all in this together. So we'll be getting back to Miss Vanny further in our program and in our Q&A. So please, in case you have any questions or want some shout outs from Miss Vanny, let us know in the comments. Now, I would like you to meet our next guest. Okay. Jose Emmanuel Joel Dueñas Aquino finished his vocal studies as a performance specialist from the University of the Philippines College of Music. As a solo vocal artist, he has performed in key cities and cultural venues here and abroad. As a choral artist, he has extensively toured Europe, the United States, and Asia as soloist and member of the Philippine Madrigal Singers, including the European Grand Prix in Tours France, the San Miguel Master Chorale, and the Ateneo Chamber Singers, where he also served as assistant conductor. His education and experience have led him to a much sought after vocal and choral clinician, consultant, educator, and workshop lecturer, including choral workshops in Europe and Asia, and the nationwide workshops presented by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts, or NCCA, where I also work, Cultural Center of the Philippines, or CCP, Philippine Madrigal Singers Foundation, the founders of MADS et al., and the National Music Competition for Young Artists, or NAMSIA. Currently, Joel serves as choral and musical director of the following choir ensembles: Ensemble de la Salle University Choral, Coro Lasalliano, Supreme Court Choir, Philippine Vocal Ensemble, and Union Church of Manila Chancel Choir. He also taught music theory and voice at the Asian Institute of Liturgy and Music and the Music School of Ryan Cayabyab. He is very grateful that his active music making still gives him time to pursue his other passions, his love for travel, digital photography and imaging, and hot cuisine. Please welcome Mr. Joel Aquino. Let's give him a warm round of virtual applause and smileys in the comment section. Hi, Sir Joel. We're ready for you.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Sir Joel.
So, by this time, mostly everyone has heard of the term new normal, no? Whether in whatever art form you are in, we have had to make adjustments, innovations. And so, with my short talk today, I'll be sharing some changes that I had to employ so that I could continue teaching and nurturing and mentoring my choir members at De La Salle University Chorale and Coro Lasalliano. So I will be talking about technology, about new skills and knowledge, about the community, about being mindful of their mental health and well-being, and the different adjustments that I had to do to make sure that they are all taken care of while we strive to still make music together. Right. So now allow me to share my presentation. So, so this is about our Creative Courage Artist Talk series. And I'm going to talk about we're having some technical difficulties. It seems that our cursor will not work. There, it's now working. So, like mentioned earlier, it's about the music, the community, and the practices during this pandemic. So, what changed? So now there is a new landscape of pedagogy in the choral arts. So instead of the usual face-to-face teaching that we employed before, now we employ blended learning. So we do synchronous sessions, we do asynchronous sessions, and of course we make use of learning management system. In DLSU, we use Canvas, otherwise known as Instructure or Animal Space. Okay, so with the use of these, we had to undergo a lot of training. Thankfully, LaSalle has had this learning management in place 2 or 3 years before the pandemic struck us. So it was just mostly the teachers adjusting to the medium. So what we had to do was upgrade our skills and knowledge so that we could share effectively to our choir members. So what did we have to adjust on? Before, it was just plainly the teacher talking in front of the students. But now with more access to technology, we can cater to the different styles, the learning styles that the students have or the choristers have. So it's oral. We cater to the oral. That means how they learn through listening, visual, so what they see, and tactile, what they touch. So we combine these three to make music learning faster and more pleasurable, more fun. Just for example, in front of the computer, I always have my keyboard, so I can always play something for them like this. So whenever I have to teach a concept, I can make it an oral experience for them, but at the same time, they're seeing something on the screen. And if it is needed, I can also request for them to use their phones to play on the piano that they have downloaded according to my instructions. So, before we proceed, let's have a pop quiz. Okay, so most choristers have had their culture, and sometimes they have this belief that seems to be in contrary to what is available to us through science now. No? So number one, water must be room temperature, not too hot, not too cold. Cold water will make your laryngeal muscles tight. So, what do you think? Kay, would you like to answer this with a true or false? Or perhaps people in the can answer on their comments. Okay. So perhaps a lot of people are shy. Let's skip this altogether and maybe do this when we have more courageous choristers. All right. So let's go back. I'll be skipping this quiz part. Now, let's set some expectations. First, what we can't achieve in online rehearsals. Before, you would see the conductor practicing, perfecting the shape of their hands so that the choristers will follow through with the necessary sound that's being asked of them through these non-verbal gestures. this time with online choral rehearsals, it just does not work. It's because we have different, it seems like we have different time zones. Sometimes our connections bring us about lagging with from each other about 3 to 5 seconds or even longer. So we're not sharing the same time space. Okay. And so what can't we achieve? What else? It's blending. So before, if I'm going to sing ah, and if I'm asking another to sing ah, it will not be possible for us to sing together at the exact time because again we are not sharing the same not just time space but acoustic space. Okay, and so consequently we cannot have ensemble singing. We cannot sing together at the same time. And since we're singing in our own homes because we have to take care of our health, we do not have natural acoustics. Natural acoustics meaning some of us could be recording in our bathrooms, some of them, most people would be recording in their bedrooms or living rooms. And so we're not able to hear each other. And these will have different acoustic properties like echo, reverb, yes, it's wet and dry signals. And of course, we cannot also have very long rehearsals because it could be tiresome. So we've had to make adjustments. Now, what can we achieve during online rehearsals? We will do and we can do individual voice lessons. This way we can nurture the singers, the choristers, the students, how to sing properly with good coordination of the breath, and the voice, and the other factors that we could to make us good singers. Well, we can do also small rehearsals, including a group, let's say the sopranos only or the altos or different sections. So that's why it's called sectional rehearsals. In this way, we could ask them to sing one by one, listening to each other while the others are muted, one singer is singing so that they could learn from each other. And so we give instant feedback on the good points and the points to improve on for individual singers and as a group. And of course, it's very important that we do not ask them only to submit their videos and their audios. We also need to be mindful of their health. So we follow up on their well-being. We can ask them questions. In the Lasal Choral, we call it kumustahan, from choral and then kumustahan. So it becomes kumustahan. Okay? And of course, we can do some team building activities, some fellowship. There. So by now, some of you might be familiar with this learning system. This is the Animal Space or Canvas for Lasalle. Here you will see my syllabus from the welcoming up to the different topics. Like I said, we've had to make adjustments. So what did we have to learn? I am not an expert in McCloskey technique, but I had to make sure that most of my choir members will be able to relax so that they can sing properly. Because they will not have immediate feedback, it is important that they are knowledgeable of the points, the areas where they need to be relaxed while they're singing. So I asked them to do face massage. So to crease away the problems that you can find here in your forehead, even in your cheekbones, okay, this area between your ears, it should never be locked. And then what else is important? You exercise the tongue. It's not a contest on who has the longest tongue, but you know that you're going to need it to be able to sing. So you have to exercise it. The swallowing muscles here, with the use of your thumb, you can exercise. It's very, very important to keep it without the unnecessary tension. And of course, the jaw, you can actually do some exercises like ya, 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 to promote freedom so that the jaw is never locked. And then the larynx, with the use of the thumb and the index finger, you very, very gently massage it. Okay? Swing back and forth, never aggressively, very tenderly and gently, so that it's again never fixed, able to go where it's supposed to go as you sing. And then the head and neck, maybe a few seconds to the left, back to the center, and then to the right. And then maybe you can turn it a bit, back to the center, and to the other side. Also go up and down. Okay? So another area which I had to learn was also the Alexander technique. So you find these key areas in your bodies which should never be tense and tight. They should be movable depending on the need to sing. So the key thing is there has to be freedom from undue muscle tension so that you can do the act of singing freely, because freedom is very important. And so with these, I had to study a lot of books. I'm just sharing to you some of the books that I had to acquire and study. This is what every singer needs to know about the body, anatomy of the voice, the essentials of beautiful singing. And of course, I had to attend the last 2 months, I had to attend 6 workshops from international speakers as presented here by the PCDA workshop series, so that I could be updated on my knowledge and skills. So we can make singing actually very, very simple. It's just the breath, coordinated with the voice, with the resonator, and then articulators. But if you're going to take the lecture for so long, it's going to be very, very boring for our students. So what do they care about the respiratory system for singing? What about the larynx, the sounding board, and all these other articulators? So what we've done is to migrate, so to include more visuals, so it will be much relatable for them, like this. So previously, a lot of voice teachers would say, okay, you sing with the diaphragm, sing by the diaphragm, on the diagram, lahat na ng prepositions for the diaphragm. But now science tells us, vocal science, which is very important, that we don't actually control the diaphragm as we sing. It actually follows the structure as we breathe in. So what we actually have to do is to manage our breath muscles and, of course, to provide support. So with the use of science, it's not guesswork anymore. So it's not full of imagery, but more on technique. And most of students have never seen their vocal cords, how to make it vibrate. So on the right, you will see the vocal cords when it opens up, because you have to release the tension. It opens up before, as you take a breath, and then it engages and comes closer to each other when you're about to sing. And then it stretches and it thins and it thickens depending on the notes that you're going to sing. And it's important, of course, not to just let it sound like that. You modify. What do you modify? The actual sound. So here, apart from the sound coming from your larynx, you should be aware of your throat or laryngopharynx, the oropharynx or the mouth cavity, oral cavity, and the nasopharynx or the nasal cavity, because these are sounding boards, very important so that we can modify our sounds to make it beautiful. And so here is a scientific illustration. Uh, So with the steady breath flow, you're able to channel your voice to come out clearly and freely there, strongly and healthily through the mouth by varying the shapes and proportions using the different parts of your articulators. And what are the articulators? It's the lips, the teeth, the alveolar ridge is that at the back of your teeth, and then the hard palate, the soft palate, the uvula, or the velum. So, why do we warm up and why do we vocalize? So, as written here, it's a good routine to transition from other activities so that we can focus on the actual singing and music making. And you prepare those coordinations from the motor to the vibrator and to the resonator, as well as the articulator. So with good warm-up and vocalization, you will be able to avoid injury and to train your voice as a solo or a group performer so you can check on different qualities you're able to produce. And not all vocalizations are just notated. It could be a slide or like a siren. Ah! Or it could be a lip trill. It could be a tongue. But there has to be a ritual so that you can transition from daily activities to music making. So here are some of the things that you can do. You can clap and patch to the different rhythms given by the conductor. You can also do finger exercises like this, depending on the speed that I will clap later. Maybe I can ask some of you, or the arms. If you will notice, I'm able to shift comfortably down and under, up and above, without thinking so much of it. Like I said, singing is very mental and very physical. So you have to prepare the mind and the body. And then, of course, we have to do the actual vocalization. I'll just give you a sample how to wake up the voice and connect from tone to tone. Let's do number 2. It goes. And it says, ma, me, ma, me, ma, me, ma. And we can go down. Ma, me, ma, me, ma, me, ma. Ma, me, ma, me, ma, me, ma. Or we could do something else. Let's try number 7. Ma, me, mi, mo, mo. So you see what I'm doing here is providing a visual cue for the choristers so they will know if they're going up, going down, or retaining the same note. At the same time, I'm providing oral cues so they will hear it. And sometimes I encourage them to do it. I give them a copy of these different vocalists so that they can vocalize on their own at their own free time. So let's try. I will change the syllable. Instead of ma, me, mi, mo, mu, I'll do zia, 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 zi. This time going up. Zia, 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 zi. Zia, 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 zi. Zia, 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 zi. So it's very important for the conductor to know, and the choristers as well, why you are doing a certain vocalist. It's to prepare for the song you're going to study and for the challenges that's going to be provided by the musical samples. So it's important to prepare the breath, the voice, the resonators, and articulators. So I'll move forward. Here are some of the books that are important. As you know, in the DLSU Chorale, we sing on the different languages. I've taught them German, and you will see that as an example later. I've taught them Italian, Spanish, Latin, and so it is important to make sure that their pronunciation is idiomatic, like a native speaker would pronounce those words. Especially English, um, people could be crucial and critical in listening. Sometimes, if it's not as you would speak, that's like the Americans in how it's spoken in New York, which is different from how it's spoken in Texas. So we try to study the international phonetic alphabet so that they can have very, very idiomatic pronunciation. Okay. So for these, I can give examples of tongue twisters in Filipino and in English so that they can really master their articulators. 5 from 4 fives leaves 15. And you want to be able to do this proficiently in different speeds, of course. Charlie chose chunky chicken chips. Here's a challenging one in Filipino. Palakang kabakab na kumakalabukab, ayaw kong pakalabukabin, kumakalabukab pa rin. And if we have a tongue twister for kabakab, which is a frog, a toad, we also have one for chicken. Namagakpak ang manok sa pinagpagakpakan, bakit di mamamagakpak kung pamamagakpakin? So later on, maybe we can challenge Miss Kaye if she can try these tongue twisters. So I'm sharing to you some of the resources that you may look up and see, because vocal folds and voice work is very, very specific. There has to be a solution for all the challenges that you will encounter in different genre, in different styles, in the changing voices of children. Okay. And so, of course, it's important also that slowly but surely we teach them vocal technique and music literacy. So we teach them sight singing, how to read music from the very basic to the most advanced. And we have to make sure that our instruction is clear. We cannot just teach them a basic sound production. We make sure that we understand the differences of how a tenor will sing differently from a soprano, from a baritone, for a bass, or a bass baritone. And of course, the teacher now, of course, does not have only to teach the voice or the note reading. You also have to learn how to teach the singers how to act. Because if you are going to record for a virtual choir, it has become a very close medium, meaning you will see the facial expressions of the singers, unlike before that you could be several seats away, several feet, or even meters away. Now you're very short distance away from your screens, maybe from your phones or from your laptops or tablets or even big PCs. So they have to look the part. So we have to teach them musical theater and make sure that they're building enough skills for the challenges that you provide them. So These are books also so that they can organize themselves well without super without micromanagement, of course. And so why do we labor all these things? It's because we wanted them to be able to sing well. After learning so much, after adjusting, we were able to present our concert, a virtual concert with 3 days of shows in the Anno Space and the YouTube Live. Okay, as you see, we had a lot of partners, and I'll be showing to you now some portions of the show so you can see the differences. The first is in German, it's called Dankinus, and you will see the deliberate colors that we use. It's white to project something that is supposedly from the old times. And so you will see the different effects and the white, black and white color. I'll just show a bit of a sample here now.
There's a burning on, there's a burning on, who's a fire? Burning on,
Okay.
there's a burning on.
So you notice this time there were black and white images. And depending on the abilities of the audio editor and the video editor, you can change according to your script, according to your color palette. So the next one I'm going to produce is another old song, and this time you will see that we used sepia colors. I am proud to say that I didn't have to help my students with the audio and the video editing because I was able to train them to work on these files by themselves. Of course, the final products had to be approved, but you will see how amazing they were as they were able to go through different timelines by the use of colors and color palettes. This is Cherish, quite an old song, but still very cool to sing nowadays.
Cherish is the word I use to describe all the feeling that I have right before you start. You don't know how many times I wish that I had told you. You don't know how many times I wish that I could hold you. You don't know how many times I wish that I could mold you into someone who will cherish me as much as I cherish you.
Okay, so you notice that it's sepia. Now let's watch how it looks in full color. Okay, and then finally, from our concert, we did this very classic Bohemian Rhapsody.
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy. Easy go, easy go. There's no hope, and really the wind blows doesn't really matter to me.
All right. So you see, we were able to work on some videos. In fact, we have a library of different videos from different genres, styles, eras, and periods. But apart from that, we were able to establish our logo, our branding. So when we talked, when we had our Kumustans, we decided that we want to make sure that we have a new logo presented in our concert, and we were able to employ that. So the team building and the bonding activities also led to other non-music events. But for my last sharing today, I will share to you about why we sing. This is a choral festival. There were 35 choirs that uh, joined this festival from different countries. On 3 days, we have these shows, and you will see from the video how amazing it is that all of these choirs were able to sing under our direction one song together with a beautiful message. So it is entitled Why We Sing. That's why that name of the festival, and of course, the name of the song. This is the final image that you will see when most of the singers are present in one frame. But allow me to show you the whole video of the last day where you can see most of the choir singing. Here it is.
Son of hope, son of peace, the sound that celebrates the seas of liberty. Sound of love, sound so strong. It's amazing what is given when we share a song. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice, why we stand as one in harmony. This is why we sing, why we lift our voice. Take my hand and sing with me. Sing the song, and the heart brings to the us that have been torn apart. It's a never-ending game that circles back again. This is why.
ends my sharing for today.
Wow, thanks so much, Sir Joel, for letting us know about the changes that chorale training has recently undergone, reminding us of the science and technique behind singing in unison. And thanks for sharing the performances. It's really fascinating how the students manage to do the singing, the acting, and even the video editing on their own. Maybe you can also share the full performances with us, the links to the full performances, so um, everyone can enjoy the performances later.
Yes,
They're
I'll give
online,
you.
right?
Yep, I'll give you the link.
Yes. Of course. And also, we celebrated World Teachers Day yesterday. So, a huge shout out and big virtual hugs to our teachers. And it's a super, super appreciation day for Sir Joel and Miss Vani. I'm sure the DLSU Choral and DLSZ Choral all love you. And you help them express themselves in so many different ways. So we still have time for a little Q&A. So we've seen your efforts, what you've done during this pandemic. But I'd also like to know, where did it all start? Miss Vani, what made you interested in choral music? Sir Joel, what made you interested in choral music? How did
Ladies,
you start? Ladies first, Miss Vani.
Alright. Well, I started singing in choir in our church here in Nova Ecija. So I think I joined the choir at when I was in grade 4. So yeah, and then after that everything follows.
Sir Joel, how about you?
in my case, I was just listening and waiting for my brothers who were practicing in their choir. And then their choir teacher noticed that I was always there when they were practicing, and he told me to come hither and why don't I listen to you? If you can sing, why don't you just join us? And I was 8 years old then. The youngest member were usually 9 years old, but she said, since I was there, might as well listen to you. And so I made a cut, and so I've never stopped singing since.
So that was in school?
Yep,
Wow. So everyone got their start in grade school. So it's really music starts the love for it very young, right? And
yeah.
I'm very happy that um now you're training students to be as progressive in music as you are. And how do you see your chorale performers in the future, like with the new normal, with the virtual concerts and everything? What is yet to come, you think?
I think because now it's like very natural for our students to learn this new technology. They can after we teach them, they become better than us, and that's
Right.
our pride and joy, right? That we can nurture them so that they can surpass what we can do. And so I'm looking forward to them creating their own groups in the future, teaching them. So whatever they experience, the joy of singing, as you know, Kay, choral singing is the single most popular music activity in the whole world.
The
In
whole world.
this, yes. So if they can create and they can sing and then they can join in different choirs wherever they may be, that's the joy of teaching for me. That's a wonderful return already.
How about for the DLSZ chorale, Miss Vani? What are the upcoming activities for your kids?
Well, we actively participate in the school activities. I think they have the Marian month, and well, we have the luminary and other institutional activities. Hopefully we could share a video in every activity, and we also submitted our videos in some um, local and international festivals.
Wow, so you're keeping your kids active. How often do you rehearse, Miss Vani?
We actually just meet like once a week. But then if like we need to finish something in a short. span of time. We meet at least an hour in the afternoon. But then I am just very glad that the members are uh, very responsible in learning their pieces on their own.
How about you, Sir Joel? How often are your rehearsals for DLSU Chorale?
For a group rehearsal, we only rehearse every Friday, so
Mm-hmm.
for 2 hours. But when we have projects, I call my members kiddies. So
Kitties, yeah.
I'm like a father to them. So my kiddies would request for sectionals. Sir, could you teach us this and that part? So they kind of miss it when I don't call for us extra rehearsals. So, but I give them a limit. Only 1 hour rehearsal for the different sections, if it's needed.
Okay, and then everyone gets together at least every Friday.
Yes, and of course, that's never enough for them. They always want to
Never.
hang out. They do Discord, they do hang out in chat rooms and Zoom meetings. They never get enough of each other.
So that's also something that we can add to the new normal, right? The Discord, the
Yeah,
Zoom meetings, and also I'm sure the chat box is very lively whenever someone discovers new music to share. So everyone
yeah.
finds out about it, right? Do you get suggestions from your kiddies on which songs to tackle next?
Yes, of course. We try to keep it very transparent and very open. So and very approachable. So if they have some suggestions, it's always welcome. But of course, I try to keep a standard. So I try to look for a high level of arrangement for the music that they request. And then I give them what they want if it passes the standard that we've set.
All right. So we're almost at the end of our program. So Miss Vanny, Sir Joel, can we have your messages for the students in LaSalle? Aside from your kiddies, of course, maybe there are others who are interested in joining the choral groups. How please let us invite them to enjoy the music with all of us. Miss Vanny?
Right. Well, the DLSZ Chorale this time is open to everyone, and we continuously accept members. We have virtual choir projects on the way, and we give the Libertino Man to the members to contribute in the project. Uh, if their time would allow and their schedule would allow. So yeah, I'm inviting other Lasallians to join us. Even the alumni are contributing also to the projects, and that's a great thing. So we want to reach out to more alumni to join us.
How about you, Sir Joel?
Okay,
You have
so
a message for kiddies? Yeah.
yeah, we're actually opening membership again at the end of October. So we will have our 1 week opening for the recruitment. But
Mm-hmm.
apart from that, we will be having a grand alumni reunion concert. So all the alumni from all over the world will be singing with us, and we'll be
Wow.
bonding with them. So, so my final message would be for everyone that despite this pandemic, that we think we are down because we're limited to the space that we can move to and move around. I hope that the technology will be our best friend, that we will be able to hang out with each other, get to know more each other, and with the help of the technology, make music together so that we will not be stifled. Our expression, our creative and artistic expression will move forward. And so we can also share the safe space of music to other people who listen to our music. So yeah, keep singing, please.
I guess that sums it up. Music is a safe space for everyone to express artistry and creativity. So that's all the time we have for today. To all our Lasallian students and partners, thank you again for tuning in to Creative Courage in our third webinar. I would like to thank Sir Joel and Miss Vanny for being with us this afternoon. I know you're both very busy. And Good luck with all your upcoming performances and projects. We're looking forward to seeing more of the DLSU Choral and DLSZ Choral performances. We will share the links to their performances, right, for the Cultural Affairs Office. We'd like to thank our LRC Tech, the DLSU Culture and Arts Office, the DLSZ Cultural Affairs Office, and the Lasallian Information and Mission Department, and of course, to all of you. Thank you for joining us. This is Kaye Oyek telling you that creativity takes courage. A big wave from Sir Joel and Miss Vanny while we say goodbye. We will see you
Bye.
in the next webinar. Thank you and good afternoon. Keep singing.
Keep singing.
A shield of green and white, we'll fight to keep your glory bright and ever surely hail. Hail to the Lord of our Master, hail, hail, hail. Hail, hail, Alma Mater, hail to where the sun will aloft the banner high and bright, a shield of